One of the biggest lessons I've learned in terms of procrastination is the danger of perfectionism. And I'll just give you a major example from my life. I debated starting a YouTube channel for months before I even made my first video. My first video, not even when I got consistent, my first video. And I was debating myself on, well, what if it's bad? What if like people see it? Like I was worried for no reason. Right, I thought that it had to be perfect. I thought the first time that I started, it had to be perfect. And I eventually made that first YouTube video, and nothing happened. Right? I didn't get killed. I didn't get like embarrassed. No one cared. Honestly, no one cared. I have to be completely honest with you. Nobody cared. And yet, I've gotten consistent in it. And honestly, looking back at my first ever YouTube video, my first ever YouTube video sucked. I just have to be completely straight with you. It sucked. It was not good. It was horrible. It was not even like entertaining in the slightest. Not even educational, probably. But that's the point, right? You shouldn't be perfect at the very beginning. And honestly, even now, my videos probably suck as well. But compared to right now and then, my first video sucked compared to mine right now. And I'm sure that in a year, my future videos will be much better than these videos, right? And that's the point. You improve over you improve over a period of time. You can't start perfect. And that's not even the only example, right? Whenever I first started to work out, I was also kind of worried about what my routine was. I was kind of like barely fit. Like I was like doing some push-ups or whatever, but I didn't really have a strict routine. And I just decided that to screw it. Like either I have a routine or I have none. And so I just found a random routine online and I just started using it. And honestly, I still use it to this day. I edited it still, but it's still the same in theory. And like looking back at those two major moments, I would have made more progress if I had just started instead of debating myself on how to start perfectly. And especially like really the only way to explain it is that perfectionism is procrastination. If you're trying to perfect something that actually will get out there, like it's a famous art piece, like or like it's your Mona Lisa, it's your life's work, then yes, make it perfect. But when you're just starting, you say you want to make it perfect, but in reality, you just don't want to start. The only way that I actually got over that was by just starting. I ignored the voices in my head, and I'm not saying voices in my head like I have like some mental illness. I'm not saying like that, but I ignored the voice in my head telling me to not do it. Like, what if it's not perfect? What if people see it? I ignored it, and I just made my first YouTube video. And honestly, I'm not playing. My heart was pounding whenever I was making it. I was like, my hands were sweaty holding the camera, and like my hands were probably shaking as well. Like even right now, my hands are kind of shaking. But I like was honestly scared of making it. But after I made it, I felt so great because I just got past that mental belief that was holding me back that it had to be perfect. And once I got over it, honestly, it just skyrocketed from there. Like I'm at this point now because I started then, and I probably would have been further if I started earlier. And so, if you haven't started something because you want it perfect, take it from me, who I've been working on this for almost 2 years now. You'll regret not starting earlier. In the future, you'll regret not starting earlier. No matter what time you start, you'll regret not starting earlier. So why wouldn't you start as soon as possible, just to get it the least amount of regret as possible? Honestly, if you wait months and even years to start something, you're gonna look back at your younger self and you're gonna think, what a dumbass. And honestly, looking back, I should have just started earlier. And even now, I still kind of want to do perfect things, but the main mindset that helped me get over it is remembering that perfectionism is procrastination in disguise.